Hi guys! I thought I'd play with some Cernit translucent today. So, here's some translucent Cernit. And I've just got like a little block of it. So that's that. And I've also got this, which is very sticky. I should have leached it. I leached this, but I haven't leached this, but oh well. I've got this, which is, have I got the right one? No, that's this one. It's a translucent, and it's the white glitter Cernit translucent. That's that one. And then I've also got the glitter silver translucent Cernit as well. That's that one. And I thought I'd use these Cernit gels, which are basically liquid clays. So I'm going to use the translucent one and also the it's a white pearl one. You can get all your Cernit clays and every other clay actually from Blueberry Beads. I will leave a link. And I've also got some white clay rolled out onto a number 7. And I've also got these, which I don't have many left, but I've also got these mother of pearl chips that I thought would look really nice. And you'll also need some white pearl mica powder. And I think that's everything, but you know me, I always forget something. Fingers crossed I haven't this time. Alright, so I've already got my little block of trans, but I'm just going to quickly get the little logs that I've rolled out. So I've rolled out I've already forgotten what it's called. I've already rolled out the glitter silver translucent into a log and the other one into a log as well. And they're just going to get wrapped up in some white clay. So I've just done that. Give it a quick roll. No, I'm going to trim it down a little bit. So it's a little bit tidier. So just wrap those logs up into some white clay. I'm having a really hard time seeing my camera. I think I've positioned it a little wrong. But anyway, wrapped in some white, and then the same for the other log. Trim that up a little bit and wrap that into a log as well, into some white clay as well, like so. So you've got your two little logs wrapped in white. I'm just going to give them a quick roll. And this one, a quick roll. Actually, I think I'll do this first, guys. I was going to go and work with this translucent block, but I'm not going to now. And I'm going to have to adjust my camera because it's right in my face. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Right, so take each of those logs that you've wrapped in white and just reduce them a little bit. I'm not being overly perfect. Just give them a roll. And then I'm just going to chop off the edges. Just a little bit more, and I'm going to cut it into 3 equalish pieces because I'm not very good at eyeballing. And just pop them together like so. And let's do this one. Just keep rolling. Chop off those ends. Oops. Same thing. Whoops. Cut into 3 equalish pieces. Right, so we've got 6 little logs here now. And I said stick them together, but I don't actually want to stick them together like that. So I'm going to take each of those logs and let me think, kind of alternate them so you got it like that. Simple as that, just put them together, and they're just going to get squished again now. I'm just going to form this back into a log. So just take it and turn it and stretch. This is mega simple but very effective in my opinion, and I just love working with translucent clay anyway. It's my favourite, to be honest. I just love the depth translucency gives. So I'm just continuing to reduce this very easy cane. Give it another little roll, stretch it out a bit. And don't throw these pieces away, because all these little pieces of leftover will make a really nice chippy choppy. Excuse my hand, I burned it. You don't want to know how. Okay, I'll tell you. Alright, so me and my hubby were in the backyard at the weekend, last weekend, and burning stuff, burning the branches that had fallen down from the storms that we had, etc. And I went and picked up a branch that was on the floor, not realising it had just fallen out of the fire pit, and burned myself. Yes. Oops. Alright, so again I'm going to take this and cut it into 3 equalish pieces and just bung it back together. Like so. You can stretch it out a little bit to make them more equal. Whoops. And I'm just rolling it back into a log. Just reduce it a little bit. Like so. Tidy the edges up again. And I think we'll do another cut and put it back together, and I think that will be good. This one needs to be a bit shorter. So you can see it's a very easy cane, there's nothing to it really, and you don't have to be that precise with it either. So I'm just going to roll this out one last time, and I think we're good with that. So you can cut it as many times as you want to, but obviously the more you cut it and the more you roll it, the smaller the pieces are going to be. The smaller the pattern's going to be, should I say. And I think that's good. So easy peasy lemon squeezy cane. Just tidy the edges up and you should be left with something like this. Hope you can see that. And we've got all these lovely pieces here that will not go to waste, because I can do a chippy choppy with those. So I'm just going to put those over there. Alright, so we can just put this to one side for the minute and work on this. And you've probably guessed it, it's going to be a chippy choppy, but I'm actually not going to use all of this. I think I've got a little bit too much there. So I did leach this because this Cernit clay is often very sticky, especially when it's fresh. And if you don't know what I mean by that, roll out your clay on your pasta machine, or by hand if you want to, just so it's a thin sheet. I usually roll mine onto about a number 4, 0 being the thickest setting on my pasta machine, and then place it in between 2 pieces of paper, and that just helps to draw out any plasticizer moisture, so it dries it up a little bit so it's easier to work with. And that's all that leaching means. So I did leach this because it was extremely sticky. So I'm just cutting up some chunks as usual, the standard chippy choppy. And what I usually do is I don't necessarily chop all the way. I just, you know, get some rough chops going. Don't worry too much about the pieces sticking together, although it's useful to separate them a little bit, I guess. But I'm not overly worried at this point because we're going to throw some mica powder in there to help separate those pieces. And I've got my white pearl mica, the Stardust micas, which is listed in my Amazon storefront. All the links are in the description. And I'm just going to take a little scoop like that and throw it over there. And then we start to tumble this. Oops. Throw it on the floor if you want to. That's optional. Just make sure it's really nicely coated, guys. And that stuff is a really nice mica powder in my opinion. It's very pigmented and it's, I don't know, it's just really pigmented. It's nice, I like it. It's messy though. Alright, so when you've coated your little pieces, then you can go back in and chop again if you so wish to. You don't have to. But I just want those chunks a little bit smaller. Give it another mix. And you can see now that those pieces are separating a lot easier. Now you've coated them with the mica powder. Just another little chop here and there. And there we go. And do you know what? I've run out of wipes, guys. I asked my hubby to get me some at the weekend and he forgot, so I'm out. I know I could have gone and got some myself, but I forgot. Seriously, guys, I forget so much stuff. I can go into a store with, you know, certain items in mind that I need to get and come out with everything, but it happens just about every single time I go. And then sometimes it's just 3 or 4 things and it's in my head what I want to get, and then I walk through the door of the store and I'm like, what did I come here for? Oh yeah. Happens every time. No word of a lie. Alright, so I've got my little chippy choppy bits there now, and now I'm going to throw in the am I going to throw in the white pearl or am I going to throw in the translucent? Huh. I completely forgot what I did. I think I threw in, yeah, I threw in the white, derp. So we're actually not using the translucent. I'm not sure why I got that out, to be honest. Yeah, we want a liberal coating of this, the white pearl. Forget about the translucent, I'm not using that. So I forget things, and other times I put stuff out that I don't actually need. Sorry guys, that threw me for a second, but yeah, we're giving this a very liberal coat of the Cernit gel in the white pearl. And this is the first time, well, not the first time, but this is the first time I've had this Cernit gel. Now, yeah, it is just liquid clay, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, the feel of it, it feels like silk. And I just really like it, and I really like the bottles they come in as well. They're very easy to, the nozzle is very easy to, you know, apply to the clay. But you know, it's still sticky, don't get me wrong, it's not as sticky as Sculpey or Kato though, and it's just got a very different feel to it. It almost feels like hand lotion. I really like it anyway, so I'm using that and I'm just going to plump that together as usual. Typical chippy choppy. Give it a little squeeze. I'm not adding anything else into this. It's literally translucent and pearl, mica powder and liquid clay. That's it. That's all I want. I'm going for quite a minimalistic look on this one, but I do need to wipe my hands before I go any further. I'll give this a quick wipe down. And I've got sheeny, shiny hands now. Alright, so when you've done that, you've got your typical little chippy choppy block going on. Just give it a nice little squash and a little squeeze. Get it into that block shape. Make sure it's all nicely stuck together. Okay, and that's that. So we've got a little block of trans and we've got our little cane. Easy. And with it being spring and whatnot, I thought it has like a kind of wedding vibe to it. And then, you know, people tend to get married when the weather's warmer. I think it would look lovely as a wedding piece, earrings or pendant or whatever. Alright, so I'm just going to grab some more translucent clay, Cernit again, which I rolled out onto a number 3, I believe. Yeah, 3. Okay, leach this as well so it's not as wet. When it's really fresh, it's almost like chewing gum when you cut into it. And I'm just going to take a slice of this, and it's probably going to be a little bit squishy, but no worries. Give it a quick roll. And it is a little sticky still, but especially as now I've added the liquid clay. Just make sure it's all stuck together. And you can't really see much on camera because it's translucent, but once it's baked you'll see. I'm just going to give it a little clean with some isopropyl alcohol. Oops. Just to clean it up a little bit. And then I'm going to lift it and I'm going to pass it through my machine on number 2, 0 being the thickest, 9 being the thinnest on my Atlas 150, just so I've got a little bit of a thinner sheet, like so. And I'm just going to take a slice like this. I'm not going to make a ton of stuff, guys, but I'll show you some pieces that I've made doing this. And I'm just going to place it on my backing sheet like so. That can be used on another piece, but that's all I'm doing for that. And then I'm just going to take some slices of this cane, and I don't care if it doesn't stay in perfect circles or anything because it's just going to get rolled out. So just cut as many pieces as you can make a sheet from. I'm only making a small sheet. Just pop them together randomly. It doesn't have to be all lined up nicely like little, you know, like that in a row. Just kind of put them together any old how, really, like so. Just take a few more slices. Add them to the sheet. And I think that's good. Alright, so we've still got all this left. Make some more pieces with that. Give it a quick roll. Make sure it's stuck together. It's a pretty little pattern. It's called the lace cane, but I just thought I'd do it with translucent clays. I really like it. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a squish just to close up those gaps before I put it through the pasta machine. And obviously you need to roll that onto a number 2 as well, so it's the same thickness as the chippy choppy. Okay, so I'm just going to lift this up again and pass this through on number 2. Bring this back over. We just need a straight edge to line it up with this and just pop them together. It's as simple as that. Just pop them together like so. Give it a quick roll, make sure it's nicely stuck down and all those gaps are closed up. Okay, and then I'm just going to give it another little clean with some alcohol. Make sure it's nice and clean. Oh, derp! Yeah, I am using the translucent liquid clay. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh dear, I was sitting there staring at it thinking, why have I got that out? I don't need it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do though. I need help. I'm just getting this excess trans out of the way. We don't want to get it dirted because we can use it for something else. Alright, so yeah, you are going to need your translucent liquid clay. Now the other good thing about this Cernit gel, if you're using it with Cernit, especially with Cernit clay cures at 265, but so does this. So it's ideal to use with your clay. Alright, so we've got our piece rolled out, and I'm just going to grab, oh dear me, I'm going to grab a cutter, and I'm going to go with this one. I think I really like the shape of this, and this is from Oh Joy Creations. I will list her shop as usual in the link, and I'm just going to, and you know what, you don't have to do it, you know, dead centre, line down the middle or anything. You can do it at a jaunty angle if you so wish. I quite like jaunty angles, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Or you can do only a little bit of the cane, or, you know, play around, decide what you think looks best. And I'm having a hard time seeing this because of the way I've got my camera positioned. I don't know what I did different. Anyway, I don't know now. Do I like it like that? Or do I like it more like that? Ooh, yeah. Yes, I'm going to go like that, guys. Okay, so cut out your piece. I always like to give it a little wobble. Make sure it goes all the way through. And yes, there is some left over. But what you could do is either just chop it up and do a chippy choppy, or kind of join this back up together somehow. I do this often actually. And you then got another section to play with to make another piece or two. So I like to do that. Just give that a roll, and then you can also pass it through your pasta machine, which I will do, and I'm going to pass it down this way so it spreads it out that way a little bit. But I'm just going to do it on my thickest setting, and I think that's good. So you've got that left over to do some more pieces with, so you're not wasting it. Either way, you could do that or just chippy choppy. Alright, so I've got my piece, and now what you need is your liquid clay translucent. And I'm just gonna drizzle a line of it. See what I mean about the applicator on this? It's a really quite a fine nozzle, and it's easy to apply, you know, when you're doing this kind of thing. So I'm just going to take it over that line and then maybe just bring it up to there just a little bit. Okay, so this is just really acting as a glue at this point, because this is where I'm going to add my mother of pearl. Now, I hate tweezers. I don't generally use them. I don't use them particularly for applying can't think of the word. I don't like using them. I find them awkward, but on this occasion I'm going to have to, because these are really small pieces. And I'm just going to take the ones that look good to me. Now some of these in here are actually quite thick chips, but I think they look really nice on this, so I am going to throw a couple of the thicker chips in as well. And you're just laying it over where you put that clay, liquid clay. Oops, that one shot off onto the floor. See, even with tweezers I have a hard time. You know, and people say, why don't you use tweezers? Well, because I find them awkward. Yeah, it can still be awkward using just my fingers, but it depends what I'm doing, guys, whether I use them or not, to be honest. So I'm just laying my pieces on the line of liquid clay. And just give them a little push down as well, just to make sure they're not really embedded in the clay as such. I mean, slightly, but you don't want to be, you know, pushing down too hard. The liquid clay is going to hold this in place. Okay, one more little piece here. And let me find a thin piece. Thinnish piece. I'm just going to pop that there because that's a bit small there. Okay, and that's as simple as that, really. Don't worry about any of the translucent clay oozing out, because you won't see it once it's baked. If you had a wipe, you could wipe it down, which I guess would be preferable, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to have to, I'll just wipe it off with my finger, it's fine. Alright, so that's that. Right, I'm contemplating whether to do this now or after. Yeah, I'm going to do it after, so I'm not going to tell you what comes next. I'm going to go and put this in the oven. I'm going to bake it for an hour, and I will be back. This is out of the oven then, guys. It's cooled down. That's what it looks like so far. Pretty. But I just thought I'd add a few little embellishments using this Cernit gel in the pearl white one, the pearlescent white. Just some simple little touches. So I'm just going to try and think of how I want this to go. You can do this any way you want to, but I'm literally just going to take this and do some little dots. Like so. Just little simple designs. Try and keep them a little bit spaced out because it can run together a little bit, which mine, I think I'm good. But that's all I'm doing, and I'm just following that line around where the mother of pearl kind of curves around. And that's all I'm going to do. Simple. But it just adds a little extra something, and that one has run together a little bit, but oh well. Alright, so that's all I'm going to do for that one. I will show you some other pieces that I did. So I'm going to go and put this back in the oven for 15 minutes. And I'll be back. Alright guys, it's finished, and I took the liberty of giving it a coat of resin. I haven't finished the back yet, and I haven't actually finished it, as in I did the findings, but I've not decided what I want to do with it yet. But that's the finished piece. I just think it's so elegant looking. So there's that one. This is another one that I did from the same batch, and I didn't add any of the little pearl dots on that one. So there's that one. And then I'll just show you a few more pieces. This is leftover from this. I did a chippy choppy, so it's leftover chippy choppy, just a little butterfly. It's kind of cute. All I did was added a little bit of extra translucent and chopped it all up. All the leftovers was all chopped up. And then this is from a different batch, and you can see it looks a little bit different. I didn't do any chippy choppy on this. I just took the leftover lace cane that I had and rolled it through a pasta machine so it stretched out a little bit, so it gives a bit of a different look. And the same with these little pieces, which I think look rather elegant. They will look nice as a little pendant and matching earrings. So there's those as well. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye.